Moving on, now we're on the account maintenance call list page. Here we have a total of 9 different items on the call list, and we can divide our complete understanding into 2 categories. Number 1, the messages or mnemonics on the right-hand side, which define when this person is called for what type messages, and the other is the schedules that they can be called within. Let's look at the very first one, the Arleta Police Department. Their phone number is a global phone number, which indicates that it's kept in our global phone number or global call list. The message they can be called on is any letter with a UR in it, an A and C, and a tamper. The next entry, the Arleta Fire Department, is only called on fires, so therefore they only appear on those contact lists when there is an FIR defined as the mnemonic that the message came in on. Now also let's come over here and look at the first actual person on the call list, which is William Fenton. He has a pass card of TW0001. Now remember, this ordering list here is the way they're going to appear on the call list, depending on the mnemonic, if they satisfy the mnemonic to the right-hand side, and also if they satisfy the call list options below. But any time that we have a premise verify first indicator, they will appear before anyone on the call list. William Fenton, if we look at him down below there, on the comment for the variables for William Fenton, his comment is home phone. That's a 10-character field that you can identify whether it's a pager number you're calling, a home phone, a business phone, etc. And the options grouping right below that is the days of the week you want him called on. So he's set up to be called Monday through Friday from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. at that particular number. Okay, so he's called from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Now, he's called there from September 1st to July 30th. So his name, that particular entry on his call list, will only appear during those times, from September 1st to July 30th, only Monday through Friday from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. The second entry, which is his beach home, only appears on Saturday and Sunday during the month of August. So he's identified to us for this demonstration purpose that he does not want to be called at his beach home Monday through Friday, but he doesn't mind being called on the weekends when he's out there during the month of August. Paul Levine, of course, has a new pass card number, TW0002. He's called 7 days a week, but he's only called from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. at night. So he's left us a designator that says never call me after 11 p.m. and never call me before 6 a.m. in the morning. Every central station has got the list of those customers that do not want to be called at certain periods of time. What we're going to do is to guarantee they don't even appear on the contact list if they are not within those times. Those times, by the way, are local times for the account and not necessarily central station times. The second entry for Paul Levine is his home phone number, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Now this is a bit of a contradiction because we've already said Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We don't want him called at certain times, and this particular number is going to show up Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but it's just for demonstration understanding purposes. Tom Johnson is going to be called 7 days a week anytime. And for possibly on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're going to give a second number to try if he's not available at the first number. And again, to the right of each one, over on the 5 message blocks, you're going to find if they are called for that particular mnemonic. Let's just talk for a minute. William Fenton is set up to be called on fires, probably burglaries, alarm and cancels, and tampers. He's not to be called on supervisory signals. So we can nominate which people we want to be called on which particular signals, and also the times, the days of the week, and also beginning and ending dates for when we want them called. I'd also like to bring your attention to another item now, and that is there has been the addition of the last one here, which is the global code field. In the global coding, we can use the last character in our global schedules to identify people on the contact list. In other words, if I put an A in his global code here, and I go look at the global schedules, and whatever global schedule has an A in the last global schedule, which I believe is the 7th global character, it will have a bearing on this person being called. Now the purpose for this is there are religious holidays. We don't necessarily know what day of the week they fall on. These people may designate they not be called on those religious holidays for various reasons, and so therefore I could set up a global code where this person wouldn't be called on the 15th of December, and even though all the other criteria match perfectly, if his global code says his schedule calls for him to be closed that day or calls for no scheduled time for him to be called, he will not appear on the contact list. Now the last thing to note here is if I put a beginning and ending date, I can nominate that particular entry to be purged or removed after the completion of that date. We may have people that are added on to the contact list for a certain period of time. Mr. and Mrs. Baker are going to Europe. They're going to be there for 2 weeks, and while they're gone to Europe, someone else is going to be called, but at the end of that time, that person is to be automatically removed from the call list, and that's where we would handle that automatic removal with the purge flag. Now, one more very important thing. We're going to come up here and I want to show you a couple of things. Number one, I can come down here and delete the second entry from William Fenton. That's done with an F5 key. I can move up there and I can insert a line with the F3 key, and then I can place that back in position with an F5 key. So I have the ability to move around people on my contact list. So again, I can delete William Fenton from where he's located. I can come down here. I can open up a slot for him, and I can place him back in there. This can be done on most of the list type boxes within the SIMSII database. For those of you that like to do that, you can also use that to copy. For example, let's delete, insert, copy with F5, insert, copy with F5. So I can then, instead of putting the names over and over and over with the phone numbers over and over and over for extra mnemonics and things like that, I can just duplicate and then move on. A lot of people use that. If William Fenton's got several different phone numbers and criteria, they will duplicate him 3 times and then put in the options to identify when that particular entry on the call list comes up. Okay, let's move on to the next page.